my name is Melanie Katsivo, and I am the president of the African-Canadian Federation of London and Area that is based right here in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the African-Canadian Federation of London and Area, or ACFOLA as we call it. ACFOLA was established in November 2009. That's when it was registered officially as a not-for-profit, and it came about as an effort by members of various African associations that are based here in London and area. When I say area, I mean places like St. Thomas, Chatham, Sanya, as far as Windsor. All those come under the umbrella of ACFOLA. So those associations came together and they started discussing how the African community could become more visible within the London and area communities, and how they could be better included and integrated into the social fabric in these areas. So the organization was formed, and its primary focus is on making sure that immigrants from Africa, and by the way, Africa has 54 different countries, all with different cultures, different languages. Some languages are common across several countries, for example, Kiswahili, but still that does not mean that all those countries that speak Kiswahili are similar in any other way. It's very diverse. There are immigrants within Africa, from India, from the Arab countries, from Europe. So it's multicultural, even within Africa itself. So by coming here, we were of the understanding that we would be integrated, we would fit into the community, we would contribute to its development and growth and wealth building, and that is our purpose. We want to make sure that our children receive all the education that they need in order to develop their talents to the full potential, and so that they can fit in and continue to contribute as full Canadians. We have several projects that we run as ACFOLA, and I'll start with the most exciting one that just happened, that has just been funded by the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and it's called African Voices. The purpose for that project is to increase visibility of African-Canadian heritage, culture, share our experiences with the rest of the communities here. As we are multicultural, we want to share our portion of it. This is in partnership with the Top Events Productions Company, who are actually the ones that are going to be doing all the production of the various programs that are going to be broadcasted widely online, via television stations, and whichever other way that we can get this information out. Project that we are very excited about is the development of our youth. It's very, very important to to African parents that their children go through school and go to post-secondary. Usually there is no debate about that. The goal is to do post-secondary. So we are running two projects. One is to encourage our youth to take STEM subjects, the science, technology, engineering, and math streams at the university. And we find that they're interested in that. So we work with students at the University of Western Ontario who help to mentor them, help them map a pathway towards success into getting into STEM programs. And then we are also working at the community level with elementary and high school kids who for some reason may be facing challenges at school, either with the subject materials or with behavioral issues or with we're working with them to make sure that there are no barriers to their successfully completing school, and so that they can go into post-secondary education institutions. We are also very keen on sports. As you know, Africans love soccer, and so we set up a soccer tournament, an annual soccer tournament, and it's in its second year. We've done two. We are hoping to continue doing one every year. So a third one is coming up in this year, 2019. We have teams that are put together by the various African associations that play during that tournament, a minimum of 4 teams. When we first started, we had 8 teams, and we hope to grow it to include even other non-African teams that want to play with our teams. We also have a women's caucus that is very new, and we just want to create an avenue for African Canadian women to be meeting, talking about, you know, their development, their family's development, remove stress and and address other mental health issues that there might be, you know. Coming into a new country, isolation is a real thing for a lot of immigrants. So we want to make sure that we have a vibrant women's caucus. We want to feel Canadian, like full Canadian, and we want to be seen as fully participating, productive Canadians. And so we appreciate being in Canada, and we come in with a lot of talents, and we want to engage those talents to bear on the development of Canada. And that's really what the African Canadian Federation of London and Area is all about. With that said, I would like to invite you into Akfola. Our doors are wide open. You can email us or call us to find out about our programming. We always welcome volunteers. So if you'd like to volunteer in any of the activities that I have talked about, please feel free to contact us. We are totally open for you, and we welcome you to continue watching these productions, because they're going to reveal a lot more about what we are all about as time goes by.
About Africa and its rich, diverse cultures, now you can learn more on African Canadian Voice. Our Voice, our new project. Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Malik Sule. I am the Public Relations and Communications Director for ACV-African. I'm here to give you some very exciting news today. Thanks to the OTF, we are about to begin a project titled African Canadian Voice. And this is a project meant to tell the stories of Africans living in London and surrounding areas. These are life stories about culture, food, tradition, history, performance, everything you can think of. So if you have any ideas, do share them with us and we'll be pleased to have you on board. This series would be broadcast for the next 2 years, and in addition to airing on TV, it would be available on our various social media platforms, especially our YouTube channel. So look out for that from our website. We also have a Twitter account and Facebook account that you can follow to get updates on what is happening with this project, as well as other things that ACV-African is doing. There's so much about our rich culture, our food, our music, our clothing, our ways of doing things. If you want to get involved, do send us a message on our various social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or on our website, or just pick up a phone and give us a call, and we'll be glad to speak to you. Thank you. And don't forget, follow us.
Today through ACV-African, but I'm representative of Ethiopian community. I'm a public relation. So just I brought some different kind of things here. It shows our culture. The way you have seen here, we have some cups, which is usually using for the coffee. This is a pot. So you have to know one thing, the coffee originally is discovered in Ethiopia, the place called Kafa. That's why I'm trying to be. Here we have different kind of stuffs for foods. The way you have seen the chili one. We take a lot of chili foods, and this is materials from different traditional things. We have a traditional food called injera. This is the things, whenever they make injera, they put it here. And this one, like, I can say easy English, like when you travel from place to place, you can put your food. It's made from grass and some skins. The way you have seen the top is covered by skin. So you can have a lot of food inside and covered, so you can go different places. This one they are using for drinking waters. The way you have seen it is covered by skin, so it can make the water cold. And this one we have here, we call it masop. So most of the time they are using for traditional wedding. When the two couples for wedding, they are going to be special guests or something. Even if they come in house, you are going to invite them by this.
This is a bell for the camel. I put GPS because it makes noise, and we put the neck of the camel. When they get lost in the jungle and we cannot see it, we listen to the sound, and that's how we locate. So it's the African GPS. And here we have a big African dish for whole family, and this is the spoon that you eat with, and this is common for all foods, meat or sorghum or porridge or everything. And the family sit around, everybody has one of like this, and this we call hero, and this we call fandal. So it's just spoon and plate. And here we have our national flag, which is behind me, you can see it. It's well known. And here we have some drums. And what else I will show you? Drums, which is common in Africa. They are used for a lot of purposes. For celebration of wedding, and also for the warning of during the war. We just warn the neighbors something is coming. Guys, get ready, get out. So all these things are the cultural back home, and we are glad, we are having fun, and thanks for inviting us and coming.
My name is Tayo, T-A-Y-O, Adeniro, and I'm from Nigeria. And my friend and colleague here is?
I'm also from Nigeria.
We are manning this today because of the interest we have in multicultural events. Like, these are drums that are used for various things, for dance music, but more especially this drum is what we call the talking drum, the Conga. This is very popular, and it can be used to send signals to people. It talks to you when you can beat it to send a message, to say something, to tell you something about what is happening or about to happen. This particular carving, it has a history to go behind it. It's called the elephant hunter. The only difference in this one is that it's called the greedy elephant hunter. The greedy elephant hunter, the story had it when we were growing up, that he killed the elephant, but he did not want to share it with anyone in the village. And he was going to hide it away, and then he got stuck in the mud, and he became a man of stone right there. He did not have the chance to eat the elephant because he was greedy. He didn't want to share the elephant. And we have one of the most popular carvings in Africa. It's the Benin head. Benin, B-E-N-I-N. It is used at the Festac, the world's black cultural event. And so this made it the most popular carving of all black carvings in the world in terms of cultural carvings. It's very significant. It's called the Benin head. And we have various, as you can see here, this guy is doing what I was doing a moment ago. He's a musician. This lady was like a market woman taking her wares to the market. And this is actually a unique, it's a table lamp. It's a table lamp, but this is a carving that has no beginning and has no end. They keep interweaving. So this is a very significant carving. And then we have this musical instrument as well. They play this musical instrument like a local guitar. They used to create some music.
Hi, my name is Tess Buzamlak. I'm the Executive Director of ACV-African and the Project Manager of ACV-African Canadian Voice. African Canadian Voice is a new vehicle for African Canadians to showcase our cultural heritage. And if one asks that, what defines African Canadians, you cannot ignore the cultural background and diversity we have from Africa. And that culture has a bearing on the way we live in here. And the reason for that is because culture is so powerful and it travels with you wherever you go. And that's the reason we need to bring this to the fore and share it with the larger society, including the African Canadian communities in here. African Canadians come in here for different reasons. Some of us come from conflict zones, others come for education, others come to be with the family members. But no matter what, how we come in here, for what reason we come in here, there is always that culture that comes with us. And that culture is always with us, and there is no way of leaving it behind. It has to be part and parcel of who we are in here, and it continues to impact the way we see things, the way we interact with each other, the way we see the environment, the way we solve our problems. It affects everything we do because it's very powerful, and we need to have that culture to be well preserved for the coming generation, as well as for knowing each other, because as you know, Africa is a very big continent. It has more than 51 countries, and each country has, even within itself, also a lot of cultural heritage and nuance differences, and those things have come with us in here, and we don't have to leave it just left behind. We have to share it with everybody, because there is so much richness, happiness, and enabling power within those cultural heritage. And that's the reason we have embarked this new project, which is called African Canadian Voice, ACV, to give us a way of sharing our culture with the larger Canadian communities, because the Canadian society also allows us to be who we are as African Canadians within the greater scheme of cultural mosaic. And this is a project that gives us a way of putting ourselves on the map, showing who we are, showing our wealth, showing our richness, and it helps us also in the overall goal of making ourselves part of the process of everything that's life in here. Life without culture is meaningless. We have been trying to do this for so long, but this is the time that we have the really great chance, and we are very thankful for OTF Fund for funding this project. Now, if any organization, especially the African Canadian communities and organizations and individuals who have knowledge of the rich heritage and diversity wants to participate, they can contact us. You're welcome to contribute into this project, as well as we need also volunteers to participate in this, and please contact us at info@akfola.ca, again at info@akfola.ca. Each community or individuals or group is invited to be part of this show to showcase the African culture and what it means to the larger society. And there is no other vehicle so far, there is no other vehicle to show this to the larger society than African Canadian Voice. We'll make this project as the voice of showcasing our culture, richness, heritage, music, theater, poetry, performance, all sorts of cultural wealth that needs to be shared with the larger society. We have a vehicle in here. Now, you know what African Canadian Voice is. Come on board and let's do it together and have fun.
Our third annual African Food Festival.
It's a very special month, Black History Month, because we celebrate Black families.
We are celebrating African Food Festival.
We just had a fantastic opening ceremony.